Alright folks, so in this video I'm going to go through all the objective cards. I'm going to start off talking about the special objective cards, the preliminary objective cards that are in the expansions, and then we'll go into the secret objective cards and the public objective cards, which is what you need to win the game. See you later. Okay, so I wanted to talk about objective cards. Here we have some special objective cards. This is in one of the expansions here. It's not in the base set. Basically, these special objectives are telling you, hey, if you find any one of these artifacts, you gain a victory point. What does that mean? Well, there are certain artifacts that you can spread out on the game just like this. Now, no one will know which is which. So if you flip them over, some of them are the actual artifact. The red, the green, the blue, and I think the yellow's in here somewhere. There it is, yellow. As you see, some of them are just black. They're just blank. That means they are fakes. So you won't know until you get to that corner and flip it over. You can put them on the tiles, however you want, mix them up. A lot of times we put them in asteroid fields, gravity rifts, you know, wherever we think it'd be risky to go get it. We put one on Mechatol Rex too, because why not? You may take a chance on getting one. But we spread them out. It's just something you can add into the game. You don't have to have it, but we do. It's fun. It kind of helps the game move along. There's also one objective here. It's Voice of the Council. It says, before using any primary ability of the political or assembly strategies, which we'll get to those later, it says its owner may call for a vote to see who gains control of this objective. All the objective is the Voice of the Council. You get a victory point. Now, why would you vote for someone to get a victory point? Well, we'll explain how you can get people to vote for you to give you a point later on in the videos. But these are special objectives. Another thing that was in one of the expansions here is called preliminary objectives. Now, this is another optional rule. They said, hey, you can give out, before you give them out secret objectives, which I'll get into in just a moment, you can give them out these preliminary objectives. And so they have to fill out this preliminary objective before they can get the secret objective card. Now, preliminary objectives are fairly easy if you look at some of them. It says, I've attacked a player this round with whom I have a trade agreement. Or, I have destroyed 2 enemy cruisers. Or, I have all 5 of my dreadnoughts on the game board. This one says, I control at least 4 planets with technology specialty. I have destroyed at least 1 enemy ship in a system adjacent to its owner's home system. I control a planet in a system adjacent to an enemy's player's home system. I control the planet that was controlled by an enemy player this round. I control 2 systems adjacent to Mechatol Rex. I have 3 yellow technologies, or I have all 6 of my PDS units on the game board. Like I said, these are fairly simple and they're supposed to be. They're preliminary objectives before you get to your secret objective. So you get a point. Just another way to help speed up the game. Now, of course, these are our secret objectives. You shuffle these up. You give out 1 to a player. They have only 1 per game. As you see, there's several in here, so you won't get bored on secret objectives. Plenty of those to go around, and they're all different. Let me just go over them here. It says, this turn, I successfully took control of my neighbor's planet that held his last space dock on board. And of course, the neighbor is the player to the right or left of that player. Next one says, I control at least 4 planets with the same technology specialty. Or I control Mechatol Rex, and I have all 3 of my space docks and all 5 of my dreadnoughts on the board. I control Mechatol Rex. I have a space dock here and at least 8 9-fighter ships in the Mechatol Rex system. I destroyed space docks controlled by 2 different players this turn. I control systems adjacent to 2 different players' home systems. You control it if you at least have 1 ship there, non-fighter of course, and I control every planet in the system. It says I control 8 systems outside of my home system. Meaning control is a system that you at least have 1 ship on, of course. Conquer says, I control all planets in another player's home system. I control Mechatol Rex and have a space dock here and at least 2 technology advances in each of the 3 different colors. As you see, a lot of these have to deal with Mechatol Rex, of course. That's the center of the galaxy, so a lot of them say you have to have it. This one says, I control at least 6 planets with technology specialty. I control Mechatol Rex. I have a space dock and at least 6 ground forces here. Or I have at least 1 non-fighter ship in every system containing a wormhole. Or I control Mechatol Rex and I have a space dock here and at least 4 dreadnoughts in the Mechatol Rex system. So these are a lot harder to accomplish, but they're worth 2 victory points, which is why they're a lot harder to accomplish. And these are on your own secret objectives and help you get along in the game. It'll take you for most of the game to get it. Now, for the rest of the game, you will be dealing out at the end of every round a public objective card. Now, these are with all of them from both expansions. I don't think you'll get this much in the base set, but you'll get plenty enough to play the game. What you do is you have stage 1 and stage 2 cards. You're going to take, first off, the bottom one, which is, well, that's 2 victory points. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Take out the I win the game. Or, what's another one? Game over. Yeah. Take out all those. Shuffle these up. Take out the top 3. And then add the game over token on the bottom. So you have 4 stage 2 objectives in the game. Now, out of your public objectives, you shuffle these as well. And you're going to pick out 6 randomly, not looking at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you should have a stack of 10. And that's how you're going to go throughout the rounds. So every round, and by the way, stage 1 is a little bit easier to get the victory points on. Stage 2 is a little bit harder, but it's worth, most of them are worth 2 victory points. In fact, I think all of them are. But anyway, that's how you play the game. If someone still hasn't won by then, like they can't obtain any of these objectives, then you can do this and the game will be over. Now, one thing about objective cards, you can only claim 1 per phase. So let's say there are 2 objectives here, and let's see, they are, I now spend 10 resource and I have more than 1 technology advance in all 3 different colors. So yeah, if you did both this round, you're like, hey look, I did both. Do I get both? No, you only get to choose 1. Now the next round, you can take a shot at claiming that one. And claiming goes in order of turn. So if someone went before you, they could probably claim one of these before you could. But that's how public objective cards and just objective cards in general go. All right, first off, I apologize. I just did not have time to read all the public objectives in stage 1 and stage 2. That would have been way too long. But believe me when I say the game will never be the same twice, because you're always mixing up objectives. So what were objectives in the last game are probably not going to be in the game you play next. It's just how good the game is and how well it changes up. And your secret objective will not always be the same, because of course in some of these expansions they added those secret objectives in there to kind of mix it up and keep things fresh. Now I'm sure if you play this a billion times, you might be able to understand all the secret objectives, but still I just don't see it. I think this is a great way to play the game, to win out, because you're trying to get those victory points, trying to get to 10 or whatever you need to win the game. Now, as I said in the video, you don't have to have the special objectives or the preliminary objective cards. I don't know of many people or anybody who uses them. I have in my games, they just try to come up, Christian tried to come up with an idea of a way to speed up the game. But it seems like every time he comes up with ideas to speed up the game, no one wants to use them. No, I don't, that's too easy. Let's play a long game. Yeah, when you start playing this game, you're like, no man, I don't want to use those. I want this game to go on forever. And believe me, it can. All right, folks, I'll see you in another video.